Hello, and welcome to You Don't Need 10. Welcome back if you've been here before. Welcome if you are new. If you are new, maybe at some point you take the opportunity to go to youdon'tneed10.com and learn a little bit more about us. My name is Katie Wyman, and I have been journaling, writing pretty much my whole life. I wrote a book about my daughter. I continue to journal. Now I write a weekly blog that I've been doing for about 2.5 years, 150 episodes. So every week on a Tuesday, there's a new blog post. And then in April of this year, I started doing some audio recordings of these blog posts. So today I am on, I'm not sure, 149, maybe, blog post number 149, 150, maybe we're at 150 today. Anyway, it's the blog post called Choices 2. Posted to the youdon'tneed10.com website on July 23rd. So I'm caught up. I've got them all posted, and just trying to catch up on some of the older ones. I know I'm behind on those, but anyway, July 23rd, 2024. I've talked a lot over the years about choices. I found an old blog post from November 29th, 2022 entitled Choices. But I know that almost every post, whether I specifically line out the word choices or not, you can see in just about every post that I'm talking about a choice being a choice. There's some fork in the road and a choice is taken. Whether you think your choice is up to you or not, a lot of times if you look hard enough, you see that it is up to you. Everything that happens, for the most part, has a choice along the way. The last couple weeks, I've focused a lot on choices and perspective, and it being your choice to see the world the way you do, or your choice to view people the way that you do. Perspective is a point of view, and that is also a choice. Your perspective is your choice. Perspective from last week received a lot of feedback, and I was pretty sure that it would. I'm connected to a lot of people that are raising hockey players or busy boys, and we are connected by our busy boys. I appreciate all the comments, calls, chats, and texts over that one. That was something I'd been working on figuring out how to write about for a very long time, and it meant a lot to me, so thank you. This week, I'm still kind of on the same path, choices. But I'm back to my regular writing theme and opinion, but it was nice switching up for a week, and I appreciate the positive responses. Choices. So much in life is our choice. I wrote a few weeks ago in a post called 5 Days about optimism and choosing the way we view the world, and that post also received popular feedback and people thanking me for the life reminder. Choose to see the world brighter. Choose to be optimistic about things. Some days it's easy to forget the good and focus on the bad, but it's a choice. So while I'm on this kick about choices, there's been another piece to this brewing in my head. I'm spouting choices and make a choice this and choose that, etc. It's your choice, yada yada. Well, how does that play into parenting? How does that play into raising kids? I'm telling everyone to make a choice, but when do I give up the control panel and let my teens, especially our girl, make her own choices about things? I've done a lot in her almost 13 years to show her the right way and the right path and know right from wrong. And I told you a few months ago I'm done being responsible for the way she chooses to defend herself to people and the things that people say to her and the way that people treat her. Frankly, because I'm sick of hearing all about the things she did to this kid or that kid, and maybe you need to look at your own kid. She felt the need to say that or do that, and since I don't know how hard her life is, I cannot judge whether or not it was appropriate or necessary at this point in life. I trust her in that department. So maybe I should trust her in other departments as well. A couple weeks ago on one of our many car rides, she said to me, "I want a new therapist." I was surprised. We had a conversation about it. I asked her why, and she told me her feelings. Part of me thinks it's because her therapist doesn't sugarcoat things for her, tells her the hard truth, and she doesn't want to hear it anymore. Part of me also thinks that maybe they have peaked and are on a plateau, and maybe it wouldn't be bad. Then another part of me says, we've had this same one for 6 or 7 years. How do we even begin with a new one? And will anyone else be able to see through the nonsense and be able to truly help her? She's always liked her therapist, but as she's matured in the last couple of years, maybe she thinks she's outgrown this one. Maybe she has. She did admit that the therapist is hard on her. I suspect she doesn't like that. One thing I've always liked is that if I couldn't have a hard conversation with Paisley about something or get her to see the big picture, the therapist always has. As Paisley and I's conversation flowed that day in the car, she said maybe she doesn't need therapy anymore at all. Maybe she doesn't, or maybe she's ready for a break. This is a topic I've brought to this blog before, and if you follow along, you've probably read these posts and maybe even commented or messaged me with your opinions. There was a point in the conversation where she said therapy has done nothing for her, and I think we all know, even her, that is simply not true. But she was trying to make points and be heard. I cannot even count the number of times she has asked to see the therapist or asked for her next appointment date because she wanted to go. The standstill we are at right now is she doesn't think she knows anyone else that goes to therapy, and that plays a role in this as well as her feeling disconnected from her. She also feels that the therapist doesn't always listen to what she is saying and is too hard on her. Maybe she has aged into needing a therapist that is softer. Her therapist is amazing and has worked wonders for her and for us. She has literally saved our house more than once. She has taught us all so many things, and her knowledge and experience are priceless. Her perspective on so many things has been so helpful, even the hard truths, because knowledge is power. So even when it was hard to hear a few years ago that my issues with Paisley at that time were because she was mad at me for giving birth to her, that was what I needed to hear. I deal in facts and logic, so knowing that fact was so empowering, and I accepted that truth and acknowledged it and worked with that knowledge to parent better and be better. Knowing your problem is more than half your battle. There are so many pieces to this puzzle, and layers to this are many, but at the end of the day, I'm trying to teach and preach choices. So I need to accept the choices that are made that are not controlled by me. I did tell her recently that if she wanted to quit or take a break, we were going to have an appointment where we went together and said that out loud to the therapist together and acknowledged out loud all the great work she has done and all the tools we have gained from her to survive this life. Paisley knows deep down the knowledge, tools, and help she has received over the years. That appointment choice has not been made yet, and I would guess the overall choice on therapy has also not been made yet. But it was a conversation, and it was a good one, and the choices are out there to be made. I have not always agreed with Paisley's choices, and I have let her make some pretty big ones over the years. And she has proven me wrong more than once, and I am prepared for whatever the world has in store for her and for her choices. So, thank you for listening.